Bay Area Panthers season opener against the Arizona Rattlers. Not up at 20 right before the half. Nice defensive stop here by Kenton Bartlett. That was before the half. Arizona did score to take a 27-20 lead at intermission. Fast forward to the last 5 minutes of the game. Panthers QB Dalton Sneed. Nice zigzag move upfield. And the Superman dive in the end zone. That broke a tie, 47-40 after the extra point. 40 seconds left in the game. Arizona completed this pass that almost got taken away by Darren Hungerford. He had a great game, by the way. Just wait a second. Two-time IFL MVP Drew Powell got the job done right here for Arizona. Touchdown. Got the Rattlers up to within 1 point. But the Panthers, they wanted this more. They were hungry. And they ate up the 2-point conversion right here. Hungerford with the stuff. Yeah. 47-46 is the final. Panthers winners over Arizona. And there is Coach Andrew, the man.
What up? What up?
Bro. Check out this footage that we got after the game.
Right.
Coach Andrew!
I need an autograph.
Show me Coach Andrew.
Coach Andrew right here.
And we're back. That was cool.
Cool experience. Very you don't really feel it until like you're down there. And that was probably like the coolest thing that I would say, like, you know, I got to experience was pregame. Like it started at pregame. We're coming out, we're stretching, and then I'm just kind of like tunnel vision, doing my thing, like, you know, getting these guys ready and all that. And then all of a sudden you look around and you got these fans just screaming. And then you start seeing everybody come in. And, you know, that's when I was like, wow, this is professional sports. This is cool.
Yep, that's right. The Bay Area Panthers, they're not exactly San Jose Bay Area Panthers, right? They're all for the Bay.
All for the Bay, yeah. You're representing everywhere of the Bay. It's pretty much it's all Northern California. You know, you got some guys on our team that are from, you know, Sacramento. We got some Oakland natives. We have some guys that actually live out here, that've been living out here in the Bay Area, like San Jose. And then, you know, they're right in, you know, our facilities right in Morgan Hill. So, you know, we're not too far off from San Jose. And, you know, it's really cool to share with a lot of these players, like, you know, what's going on, like in California. All of them are like, oh, we're in Cali. What's there to do in Cali? So, you know, if you guys see any of the Panthers, you know, like, feel free to show them around. Let them see what Cali's all about. Minus the weather. I would say just minus the weather right now. That's not this is not Cali weather. A lot of the East Coast guys are like, this is East Coast weather.
Well, this picture right here is my favorite picture right now. The picture of you, me, and Coach Cordero. Pretty cool.
GSF family right there.
So this is new. I for some reason I forgot to research the rules and the guidelines and all that stuff. So for our audience, Coach, can you just talk about some of the basic rules and guidelines of IFL?
Yeah. So, I mean, I'm learning on the fly, you know, just as well. So it's only 8 guys on the field. So 16 players at a time. Receivers can line, 2 of the receivers they can line 12 yards behind the ball and they can get a running start. You can't cross the line though. So that's still normal. You can't cross the line until the ball is snapped. After that, so there's walls, right? I think everyone like always wonders like, oh, there's walls. So you can, as long as the wall can if the wall stops your momentum, that's where you're down. But if you get bounced off the wall, you can keep going.
Oh,
as long as it stops your momentum, you have to stop momentum. And that's pretty much, that's how that works. On some of the other rules that I'm learning right now too is You can set the ball on different parts. So there's college. There's a college line that they can set the line of scrimmage from. There's the pro line, and I think it's so there's college and pro lines that they can set the ball on. So you have the two hashes, but there's these four other hash marks in between. So they can go left college, left pro, right college, right pro. So there's a lot of different ways that you can set your ball up, depending on like where your ball is spotted. You can't rush.
Really?
So that was a new one for me. Like I actually just learned about that rule. The rushing rules are very different. So the rushing rules are very different. Like it's like you have to count. There's like a count, and then they can let you go. It's like two-hand touch football. Like you have to. You can't stunt. There's no stunting. So essentially, you have to just engage, and then you have to hold, and then you can shuck and do what you need to do after that.
Because you have 3 linemen.
You only have 3 linemen. So it's like think of it like 7-on-7 for the audience watching. Think like very similar to 7-on-7 rules, just with pads. Just think of it that way. You can still go for 2-point conversions. There's no punting. There's no punts.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the kickoff, you can score 2 points if your kickoff goes into the field goal.
Oh, I think there was an attempt yesterday for that.
That was an attempt after we stopped them for their 2-point conversion after their touchdown. That's why they had to do it. And then the touchback rule, this is the one that I just learned about, is I think so depending on how many times you touch back the ball, like the ball gets like kicked out of the end zone, like it gets advanced, or you can choose to advance it like certain times. So as much as I'm learning about the rules, the more I'm, the more I can inform everyone watching. But those are kind of like the basic rules that you kind of got to like learn and kind of understand like how the game's played.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool though.
The most impressive thing for me was the players. They were massive. Like they look like pro football players. I mean, they are pro football players. So I guess, it was great, man. It was when I first saw it, I thought, short field, narrow. This is more like a defensive kind of a game, because the offense, they're not going to have space to do their thing. But it turned out it was the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
So,
oh yeah, because if you're looking at it right from outside looking in, right, the offense, and you saw it too, like the play style, it's very fast.
mm-hmm.
Like your reactionary time like has to be like really good on defense. And there's a lot of different like things that you have to like take into consideration, because at that point, right, you shift, and then essentially you're setting 2 guys in motion at one time. And these guys are pretty much getting to, like, as soon as they hit the line, they're full speed. And you're, as a defensive player, you're at a dead stop. You have to react to that. So that's where it does look like, oh yeah, short field, you can cover more on defense, but with that momentum and like, the speed that these guys are going and like how it's being played like that, you can definitely score a lot on offense, which is why like most IFL games, the scoring is very, very high. Like, we were already up into the 30s, I think, into the third quarter.
Third quarter, yes.
Wow. So it's really cool. And, touching back on what you said about the pro guys, like the pro size, like these are guys that are like, they're still trying to get to the next league, the next level. It's still football at the end of the day. Like they're still trying to get film, to showcase like, their skill set. So these guys are training just as hard as, pros in XFL, USFL, and NFL. They're training just as hard as these guys.
Yeah. Now it's another opportunity for everybody who plays football to shoot for. So I thought it was really cool. That was the most impressive thing to me. And then the other one was you being out there after the game, signing autographs, and I was like, look at Coach Andrew. My kids were excited to see you. Coach Cordero was there too, and his kids, and Coach Brandon. I think our whole entire coaching staff was there.
Yeah, I saw Coach Dante. I saw one of my old coaches from junior college, Coach Santos. I saw one of my old players, Adam Andrade from Christopher High.
Oh, nice.
He was there. He surprised me that he was there. And then I saw some of my current kids there, some of my freshmen from Gilroy, some of my sevens kids. My women's basketball team from Gav was there. So it was really cool. It was really cool. And then I think the coolest feeling is like, you're running out into the tunnel and then just the fans are like, shake my hand. I'm like, oh, okay. It's just weird because like they just want to like be like included like in everything. So it's pretty cool.
Well, I definitely think it's gonna grow. There's a lot of the crowd that was there. I'm pretty sure that's gonna multiply. And,
Definitely.
that was historic. I thought it was cool. We had fun. We had a lot of fun. I paid $5 for a bag of Cheetos, but it's all good.
Inflation. You cannot fight inflation at a sports arena ever.
Nope. Yep. I was $5 short of getting a hoodie because of that.
It's okay.
Maybe the Panthers can hook it up since we have this. I mean, look at this. Same color. Oh, we saw your logo too. They flashed it at halftime, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think. Oh, Troy Troy, my son, was with me, and Trinity, my daughter, and they had fun and they were screaming, and it was cool. It was definitely cool. So congratulations on the win, Coach. Keep those guys pumping and fit and strong, and I think you guys are going to do some damage. So we're excited for the rest of the season.
Me too.
And speaking of the season, we're going to switch over to this season right here, right above my shoulder. We got Super Team coming up. It's going to be 8 teams of 14U, 8 teams of high school. We're going to do it back-to-back at Oak Grove High School. It's going to be nice. So far everybody's confirming in the next couple of days, and we'll find out the teams by Wednesday.
Okay.
Good. High intensity. Yeah. They're looking to run it back to third. They're looking to 3-peat, Coach.
I don't know about this time. Not saying that I'm not gonna like. I mean, I believe in my guys too. It's just that whether it's my teams plural, or any of these other guys coming in, wink, wink, wink. Hopefully, someone's gonna take them down. Like eventually, and I said it before when we've talked about that high intensity team. It's that chemistry kills. Chemistry kills a lot.
It does. Yeah. It killed us this past weekend when we went to a tournament. We had a really young team, talented team, very talented team, but we just didn't have that yet because that's the first time we were together. You guys competed too, right? This past
we had a couple of linemen. Yeah, at the Arrival. It's called the Arrival tournament. And you know what? Chemistry, I could actually talk about the chemistry there. You know, two of our linemen went over, and then I really liked the setup that they did. That was a very, very well ran portion of that entire event. Like I really, really enjoyed watching it. They went through the drills that they were putting these linemen through. I was like, wow, I've never seen it like that before. So it was really different for me. They did the traditional 5v5, and then they did 2v3, 3v3 stunts and team. So that was a cool one for me to see. And then our two guys, these two guys played together at Christopher on the right side of the line, and talk about chemistry. I don't think they let up anybody on their side when it was I think it was 2v2 and 3v3. Like they just weren't letting anybody in. So I was like, that's pretty cool. right there. So shout out to Kenyon and Dallas for doing really, really well. They both came out as top performers. I know Kenyon was like at the very, very top part of it, and he showed out. You know, he did really well, and he did really well against, I think, 3 guys on there are already rated. You know, and he showed that, you know, he can compete with those guys. So, you know, for all you linemen, you know, I know you guys don't get a lot of love during, you know, this off season, but there's opportunities, and if you don't grab them, you're just missing out. So,
Yep.
you know, I mean, we're going to do something for you guys moving forward, but, you know, if you don't show up to those, then what's the point?
Yeah. No, there's a lot of excitement in high school football and in youth football in general. I see it because I was surprised by how many teams there are out there now with the sevens and the divisions and the 5-on-5, the linemen. And I'm glad we're part of it. And so we're putting this tournament on this Sunday, and it's gonna be a little bit more elevated because this is the super team, people. The super team. It's a tougher competition, and we do have the young guys competing right before the high school guys. So we're excited about that. Are you going to be in town or?
I'm in town this weekend. Well, as of right now, I'm in town.
Okay. Because with with the Panthers, you're a very valuable part of the program.
Yeah. You know, it's a little bit different. You got to wear a lot of hats, you know, especially like in that role. You know, you're in charge of the guys, like, you know, before the game, you know, we were out there, you know, just trying to get the guys moving. A lot of the guys haven't gotten used to playing on the surface yet. So, you know, we had ladders, we had cones, you know, we were doing like a lot of warm-ups and activations just to try to get the guys like, you know, used to the floor and get used to like the surface. And then, you know, you got to make sure these guys are warmed up. Like we're going through like stretching with individual players. And then during halftime, you have to do that as well. And then I'm pretty sure you guys saw me running out on the field with water bottles because we got to, and they're always on like different parts of the field. So, and then you have to be nice to the referees, and, you know, you got to give them some water too, because referees gotta run.
If you need help, I got some guys that are available for that.
maybe, but you know, it's you know, you have your whole team of doctors, your athletic trainer, myself as a strength coach. Like you have to wear so many different hats. You got to make sure the bottles are always warm. You always might have to, like, you know, like turf tape was rubbing off, so you got to like reapply, cut it off, like, you know, keep reapplying, like all this stuff to them. You know, there's just a lot of things like you got to be ready for, and then, you know, assisting all the coaches like as needed. So, you know, you are a very crucial part of every person is a very crucial part of this entire staff, and especially during game day. During the week, it's a lot different. You know, like there's a lot of other things that you got to do during the week. You know, you have guys that are hurt, or they're like, you know, if there's something wrong, or if there's somebody hurt, like, you know, you got to take those guys aside, work with the ATCs, work with the doctors, and be like, okay, how do we get them back onto the field, go through exercises with them. So, you know, there's a lot of different things that you got to do. So, you know, our job is to just keep these guys healthy and, you know, able to play, you know, for 16 games. You know, that's the tough part about it. It's like just trying to get through these 16 games and then get into the postseason and, you know, bring home another ring to the Bay Area. You know, that's the plan, is to get a ring and bring it back here. And for all you guys that are playing football right now, or I think every high school kid and every college kid and junior college kid is in, you know, in off season right now. If you want to reduce that, you need to be taking your off season very, very serious. You know, these guys came in shape, like they're in shape, you know, they're ready to play, but, you know, anything can happen. So make your body as bulletproof as you can. make sure you're doing the right training, and you should be stacking like your strength now. Like if anyone gets a chance to talk to any of these Panthers guys, if you so happen to come down to the gym in Gilroy and these guys are training here, they'll tell you exactly the same thing. The offseason was the most important part of their year because they're like, we're getting big. Some of these guys played, we have 2 players that they played in the Pac-12, and they said the same thing. They got to talk to some of the Panthers have got to talk to some of the high school kids here, and they said exactly the same thing. They said, this is a time where you need to be stacking as much strength and as much weight on you as you can. And then they even confirmed it for me, the speed and strength, the speed stuff and the plyo stuff, they get after it after they get through the whole build phase. They do conditioning in between, during that, just to keep their body moving. But the hardcore speed stuff is when the volume drops down, which is pretty normal. So build your strength, protect your body, build the armor around it, and that will give you a healthy season for yourself. So there you go. There's my free tidbit for today.
Nice. And with that, we're going to end it right there. Coach Andrew, thanks for joining us. This is another, we haven't done this in a while because you've been so busy.
Sorry.
We just couldn't find the time, but we are in week 12 and there are a few short segments we did in between. I think it's week 10 and week 11 to make public because this big announcement needs to go out. People are wondering, what's that mean? You'll see. Anyway, so, okay. We will see you guys this weekend then at the Super Team. And for all you Bay Area sports fan, tap in, man. Bay Area Panthers, they're good. They're really good. And it's a very cozy environment there. Very family friendly. I love how the players and the cheerleaders and the coaches came out to say hi to everybody. Is that going to be a regular thing after the games where people are able to interact with the players? I thought that was key. That's what made the whole night really, really, really worth it to go, is to be able to interact with the players and the staff and the cheerleaders. So
oh yeah, I think it's something that we're gonna do. So we get all the players back into the locker room. We have a little bit of a debrief, and then the coaches, they remind these players that we can't do this without the fans. So we need to give something back to the fans, and the fans just want to see the players. So while the players are out doing their thing, all the coaches, we're just trying to get all of our stuff out of the sideline, and then we'll go out there. Was able to go say hi to you guys, say hi to my family, had a little bit of time, and then it's going to be like that because there's no pro sports without fans. And we have as professionals, they have to be able to interact with these guys, interact with all the fans, let them know that they're very thankful for them for being there. And I'm assuming it's going to be a regular thing. I think with the SaberCats, they used to do that a lot. After the game, they'd come out and see all the fans and all that.
Nice. And with that, we will leave you with some clips that I caught with my phone after the game. Check it out, enjoy, and we'll see you next time. Bam!
Man, they try to run a fake. They try to hit us with a little fake. We called the right play, froze them up for a second. I got there just in time.
That's right.
That's how we closed it off.
Good plays.
We were playing the long game.
Let's go, D. Yeah.
Guard 9, the carry is dropped behind the line of scrimmage by Fitton Martin.
Hey man, we're here, we're ready to ball out. We're not gonna lose a game. Y'all gotta come see us play. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you. What's your name, buddy? That's a cool name, man. Appreciate you coming out. What's your name? Appreciate you coming out, brother. Did you have a good time? Yeah?
got the first dub.
Tell
They see what's going
everybody to
on.
get out here.
1 to 15. Hey, this year's gonna be the year. We need all y'all here.
Let's go,
We
baby.
need all y'all here.
Appreciate you coming out. Appreciate you coming out. How are you? You have a good time? Sweet fit, man. You dress yourself? Yeah. No? Absolutely. There you go, buddy. Appreciate you coming out, man. Right there.